Most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd with Ramie. This is the big leagues where we own our terrible predictions.
Write this down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
It's Write That Down with Mackey, Judd, and Ramie.
Write that down. Write that down. I don't have a pencil.
Well, remember that.
And just to keep it all in line, let's all make at least one Odell Beckham Jr. prediction, even if it is additive. I have one as part of mine. If you want to make if you already have your 3 and there are no OBJ predictions and you want to make another one, we all have to make an OBJ related prediction today with all these Vikings.
I'll hold
rumors
one of
coming out.
mine and add an OBJ one that I had as a fourth.
That's fair. So the segment is Write That Down every Wednesday at 5 o'clock here on Mackey and Judd with Ramie. You can listen back via podcast, Apple, Spotify, or the Score North app. And you can watch along with us as well, not only for this segment, but all of our shows now are being live video streamed on Score North Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. And you can find clips of our Vikings content on our YouTube page. But here's how Write That Down works. 3 predictions from everybody involved, including Mackey, Judd, Ramie, Jonathan, Manny Hill. And we are welcoming guest predictors, listeners, to come in every single week and make their predictions and take their swings as well. If you want your chance to be part of the segment, all you have to do is download the Score North app and you can enter for your chance to play and Write That Down. We keep track of batting averages and home runs, gentlemen. Those are the 2 statistics that matter.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Used to keep track of more, but then our statistician got a little bit lazy.
Well, the doubles and the triples became like too ambiguous. Like, what's a triple?
I agree with Mackey.
The analytics were important,
No point.
No one cares about slugging percentage.
Really.
It's bombs and batting average.
I'm with Mackey
It's old school fantasy baseball.
Whatever. It's old school fantasy.
I love how like the crusty old guy wants the analytics to be broken down.
He wants
you
the
want like
doubles.
hits above
Now he
replacement.
wants OPS involved.
I enjoyed the gappers. Okay?
He wants us to calculate everybody's WAR and write that down.
Well, Judd, maybe you should make a prediction that actually comes off the board at some point.
Wow.
Just milking that average all year.
Woo.
I'm tracking pitches.
Tracking pitches for a month.
It's spring training. I'm tracking
Went
pitches.
up and in with that one. Chin music.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Wow.
Ramie.
Well, before we get to our accountability session,
I'm not saying I don't like it. Just, wow.
Randy Johnson, you're the bird.
Wow, you're under arrest, man. PETA wants you.
Here are some predictions that are still on the board from recent weeks and in some cases recent years. Jonathan, you predicted fairly recently that Carol Baskins will get arrested for the murder of her ex-husband within the next 3 months. Any new developments on that in the last week or two?
Well, she hasn't been arrested, so no.
Not yet.
I saw Doc Antela go on Levitard for 3 or 4 days straight and
what?
lay out
loves
out how she killed her husband.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
And Levitard loves this guy. Just nothing but softballs.
Dude, Doc Antelo
Hilarious.
is the sneaky, creepiest guy in that entire thing.
Glad to hear him tell it. He's just a normal guy who likes dating.
Yeah.
And has tigers.
And has a ponytail that looks like that.
Oh.
Ramie, you predicted at one point that KG will be a member of the Timberwolves front office by the 2021 season.
I don't think that's happening.
Should we just take it off the board now?
We might as well.
It's going to be tough.
Unless Glenn Taylor is selling the team sometime soon.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Let's see. I have Jonathan Harrison making at least 2 movie-related predictions in 2020.
So far, none.
Are any movies even going to come out the rest of 2020?
Yeah, probably not. Unfortunately.
That's not his problem. That's your problem.
I know.
The coronavirus just messed with us.
And Judd, 3 or 4 years ago, you predicted that Big Ten restaurant would reopen somewhere on East Bank of campus, but you didn't put an end date on this
And we talked to our guy from the Big Ten restaurant, and I forgot to ask him that day. I should have asked him.
Yeah, we could reach out to him from 30 Bales.
I should have said, are you thinking about it?
But there's no end date on this, so I guess it just stays on the board.
How'd you even come across that?
I have all the predictions saved.
No, I know, but for this week, how did you just?
I just went through
looking at that one.
I went to the very back of the book for where all of your predictions with no time limit on them. Do you want those? Do you guys want all of Judd's predictions that are still on the board?
Big Ten restaurant will be the man was one of them. I know that.
So part of this is if you don't put an end date on your prediction, it just stays on the board for forever. So here are some of Judd's. I have a database that goes back to 2015. Some of these predictions from Judd go back 5 years with no end date. Arizona State will join the Big Ten Hockey Conference.
That could still happen, actually.
So that stays on the board until either college hockey dissolves or Arizona State joins the Big Ten.
Yeah, really, what's the timeline on that?
There isn't one.
That's what makes it so great.
You said the Carolina Hurricanes will relocate to Quebec with no time limit on it.
Come on, man.
Hey, who's to say it won't happen?
You've got Larry Brown coaching again.
Yeah, well, that's going to have an expiration date.
One way or the other.
No, it seriously is. I mean, he's not going to go on in perpetuity. It's going to come off the board at some point.
Last week's Write That Down session was super dark, and we're already trending that way.
Let's see here. You've got the kickoff. Well, this has a deadline on it. Yeah, there's a few other ones. Like O.J. Simpson will violate his parole and be reincarcerated. That stays on the board until it happens or until O.J. dies. So, anyways, those are some predictions.
When's he off parole?
Write this down.
It's got to be a few years, right?
Yeah, that I don't know. That we could find out.
I'm not sure.
Also Google it.
All right, so here's the accountability session. We're going to get our guy Manny in here. Manny, what's going on with you? How's quarantine life?
Oh, I've just been doing what I can around the house and binge watching a lot on Netflix and things like that. And
what are we watching these days, Manny?
A little bit of everything. I actually started binge watching Shameless again the other day, so that's been kind of fun.
That's on my list of shows I might go back and watch.
It is a fantastic show.
That's what I hear.
It really is.
All right.
Yeah.
Shameless. I'll add that to my list as well. So here's the accountability session, gentlemen. Judd, nothing off the board. Again, Jonathan had nothing come off the board this week. Ramie, you said that the XFL would not last 2 full seasons.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
It
I
counts.
didn't want it to happen this way.
It counts.
I didn't want all these people to
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wouldn't care. You won.
I did, because it happened in the way that it happened, and it's one of many businesses that's unfortunately shutting down because of this coronavirus and the impact on the economy. I didn't want to be right like this, but I'll take the point.
So Ramie gets the point there.
Long story short.
I love
I didn't want to like this, but I'll take it.
Manny Hill, I love that you had the guts to make a prediction that would come off the board soon, as opposed to like normal sports league predictions. You had Trae Young winning the NBA and ESPN horse competition. Well, they played
right away.
They played one round, and old Chauncey Billups took down Trae Young in that game.
They played one round, and all of us lost.
Unwatchable.
That was awful. God, it was brutal.
Yeah. I mean,
It was just a disaster.
Can I stand up for Trae Young a little bit here? In that Chauncey Billups, who has like a $200 million net worth probably, or something like $100 million. Chauncey Billups has a legit actual basketball court in his backyard with real hoops and glass backboards. And Trae Young looked like he was playing on one of those ones that you cement into the ground with like a plastic backboard.
Yeah.
No, Trae Young isn't living check to check, but he doesn't have Chauncey Billups' net worth by any means. So
he is a rookie. He is a rookie. He hasn't stacked the dollar bills quite yet.
No, he is not. Listeners had nothing come off the board this week. I had a couple things come off the board. I told you guys Rob Gronkowski would lose the 24/7 championship by this time this week in the WWE.
You still have it?
Still has it. And then I told you guys that Kevin Harvick would win the NASCAR iRace last weekend. That would be Kevin Harvick's video game car. And I went to go find results. I couldn't even find results. I'm assuming he didn't win, but someone did drop an N-bomb.
Yeah,
I was going to say, that should have been your prediction.
Yeah.
NASCAR driver will drop an N-bomb.
NASCAR drivers might be racist. All right. Fight on, NASCAR. So here are the current statistics. Rami Makloff, batting average up to 464 on the season.
This guy right here.
Wow. With one home run. Jonathan Harrison, the defending batting champion, he's up to 360 with 2 home runs. Judd Zulgad at 310 with 1 home run. I'm down to 242 with a home run. Manny Hill at 143 with a home run. And listeners at 105 with a home run.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
So, all right, let's see here. We've got listener Seamus is going to take some swings, and we're told that you have a special request for your first prediction. What's up, Seamus?
Hey, how are you all?
What's up? We're doing pretty well, man. How's quarantine life for you?
It's going well. Unfortunately, we were supposed to get married, me and my fiance, on June 12th, but we had to postpone. But other than that, I mean, you're doing just the best we can. But I am the one who predicted the famed Judd Zolgad bat and barrel prediction that I still think to this day I got robbed on. So I do have another Judd prediction.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we need Judd to
Do I
leave
have to
the room
leave?
here.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll leave. Hold on.
Let's make sure there's no speakers on out there. Rami's door is closed.
I'll go check.
No cheating here. All right, hold on, Seamus. We need no shady activities here. All right, he's out of the room. All right, go ahead,
All
Seamus.
right.
Fire away.
Write this down.
This is a Judd Zolgad Odell Beckham prediction. So Odell Beckham will be traded to the Vikings, and before the Week 1 game, Judd Zolgad will have already written an article blasting the trade and saying how bad it was. That we got a diva, that we've got, maybe he'll throw in that his dog Stella could have done a better job than Rick. There will be some negative article about the Odell Beckham transaction before Week 1.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Judd, you can come on back in the room. Okay. All right. It's pretty good. Did you get all that, Jonathan?
Yep, I got that one.
Good. All right. So Seamus bat and lead off here. We're gonna go over to Jonathan, then to Manny, then to Judd, Rami, and myself, Phil. 3 predictions each, and you got to have an Odell Beckham Jr. prediction of some kind today. He's the theme of the day with all the rumors circulating.
I didn't have one. I didn't have an Odell Beckham Jr. prediction down, but I have one now. Odell Beckham Jr. will get traded to the Vikings by this time tomorrow.
Whoa!
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Yes.
Thank you.
How aggressive was that?
Dude, he just wants to give me that trophy. Thank you, Jonathan.
I just want to hit my 3rd home run of the year.
I love it.
That's a grand slam.
Well, at this point, if the batting average race is just too far gone, with Rami hitting 464, you might as well go for
I
the
don't
home
want to
runs.
say insurmountable, but it's approaching insurmountable.
Guys, I overcame a 100-point
Yeah.
deficit
We
last
let
year,
you.
so
Rami's
We
got
let
every
you.
chance to choke.
nothing's
Don't worry about it.
insurmountable.
Yeah.
We
Rami
sent
will
we
choke it
sent
away.
out underhanded pitchers for your last
Right.
50
Yep.
at bats.
Rami choked away the lead last year by making 3 really stupid Bears predictions
Rookie
all
mistake,
in 1 week.
man. I
so.
learned my lesson.
Did you?
Hell yes, I did.
Well, there's still 6 months left of the year.
Write that down.
Write this down.
8 months.
Manny
12,
Hill,
12.
fire away, Manny. What's your first prediction?
I just go for the layup here.
You might need a layup. You might need a
Yeah,
layup.
what the hell? I'll just go for something that might be a layup. Odell Beckham Jr. will not be traded to the Minnesota Vikings.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Judd Zolgad.
All right. There will be a report from ESPN or NFL Network in the next week that the Vikings and Browns did have a conversation about an Odell Beckham Jr. trade. I'll find it, but there will be a credible report from one of those 2 outlets, a story saying that indeed they did have that conversation.
Okay, so you're saying it's going to get to the next level.
Like I'll be able to
basically.
document to you a story that what was reported by WFAN today will be confirmed by who people want, basically saying, give me Schefter or Tommy Pelissero, right? I'll get you one of those stories by next week. Okay?
Write this down.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil.
Well, remember that.
Rami Makloff.
Odell Beckham Jr. will be traded by the Cleveland Browns, but not to the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Killjoy.
Skill.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just trying to be right, guys. Not trying to be popular.
So, do you really think you're suited to be the 4th guy in our group, Buzz Killington?
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, write this down. Odell Beckham Jr. will catch 100 passes in the 2020 season. Well, let me amend. The next NFL season with the Minnesota Vikings. He will catch at least 100 passes the next NFL season with the Minnesota Vikings.
On a Mike Zimmer
Write
coach
it down.
team?
I don't know.
Do you want to take
Write
the next
this down.
step?
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking any
Realize
more
there
steps.
might be a shortened season.
We'll see.
Write it down. You like writing
Hey,
things
you know what?
down.
Hey, you made the prediction, Jonathan. We don't need any help from you.
Even if it's shortened,
Rami, tell Jonathan, shut up.
if it's shortened, I still might get to 100. We'll see.
Write this down.
All right, back to listener Seamus here. Your second prediction, sir.
All right. Hopefully this is a home run. Let me know if it is. Kevin Fiala and Krill Kaprizov, who's not even on the team right now, will score goals in a wild win on January 1st, 2021 in the Winter Classic.
Ooh, a lot of assumptions being made with that prediction.
Yeah, the Kaprizov one's a good one.
A lot of assumptions being made.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil.
Well, remember that then.
Jonathan Harrison.
All right, so ESPN's airing their Jordan documentary this weekend, the first 2 parts of it. Did you know they're airing 2 versions of it, one on ESPN and one on ESPN2?
This is great. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Uncensored version on ESPN and an uncensored version on ESPN2. So sometime next week, there will be a story that the FCC received complaints about swear words on ESPN.
Does that matter on cable though?
And what
It
time?
doesn't, but there will still
What
be
time
people
is
complaining.
this going to start?
8 o'clock, I believe.
I think
our
that's
time?
past the time. I think you can get away with it.
You can, but there will
fully, yeah.
still be people
Okay.
complaining.
All right. Yeah, makes sense.
But there's certain
America.
networks that
Yeah,
you're just not used to. Like ESPN has always had a Disney bar, right? Like Disney runs the company, and but at some point, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, Comedy Central and a couple other networks just said bleep it with their roasts, right? Like you'd watch a roast on Comedy Central, 5 years ago, and all of a sudden it was like, wait, is this HBO? Like, what is this? Is this HBO? But so why weren't we getting full uncensored versions of those 10 or 15 years ago? Just because companies are playing it safe?
Probably ads, trying to sell advertisements.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Write
Which
this
one I'll
down.
be watching.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil.
Well, remember that then.
All right, let's go back to Manny Hill with your second prediction.
The Gopher men's hockey team will win at least one game in the NCAA tournament in 2021.
Okay.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
A lot of assumptions being made there too. That there's going to be any kind
hockey
of sports
season in 2021,
or that sports don't get cut in some form. I don't think they'll cut hockey from
I don't
Minnesota.
think it's going to be hockey.
But all right, back to Judd Zolgad.
Next Thursday in the first round of the NFL draft, Tua is going to go in the top 5. So he will not fall out of the top 5. He will go, I don't know to whom, and I don't know, it might be a trade, but Tua is going to go in the top 5 of the draft.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Rami Makloff.
Funny, I was just about to make a Tua prediction myself. Tua will slip to the Vikings spot at number 22.
Wow.
Will slip to the Vikings spot at number 22. Write that down.
Wow. And just to confirm, you're not predicting that the Vikings will take Tua.
I didn't say that, did I?
Okay.
No,
All right.
just
want to clarify.
Make it to 22. Wow.
Wow. So if that happens, it just means the teams are so nervous about his medicals, right? Or that there's been some
like I
word
said
leaked behind the
yesterday,
scenes.
you need 3 teams. We're all assuming it's a foregone conclusion the Bengals are going to take Joe Burrow. After that, you need 3 teams who either just aren't that high on Tua or don't like what they see in the medicals to pass on him for him to slip to the Vikings. That's it. It's the Dolphins, the Chargers, and the Raiders. And Mike Mayock told, I don't remember if it was Schefter or Graziano, I saw him on Get Up this morning, that they're good with their quarterback position. So if he's telling the truth, and he could be lying, we already went through that. Go back and listen to the podcast in hour 1. NFL execs lie all the time. But if Mike
There's
Mayock...
no reason or the rumors or whatever you're talking about to anticipate that Stephon Diggs is not going to be a Minnesota Viking.
If Mayock is telling the truth, and
knee slapping Rick,
and they're good with their quarterback position between Carr and Mariota, that means 2 teams need to pass on Tua for him to slip to the Vikings at 2 or 22.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
All right, gentlemen, write this down. You all saw the reports in the last couple of weeks that the WWE was deemed an essential business in the state of Florida. Did you guys see this?
Yes.
So they've been allowed to continue to operate, and they've gone back to their live shows starting this last Monday on Raw and then SmackDown on Friday. So they're doing these live shows. They just got all their wrestlers quarantined. They did fire a bunch of wrestlers today just to cut salaries out. Write this down.
Write this down.
The WWE will have its operations shut down in the month of April at some point. And by shut down, I mean they won't be allowed to hold wrestling matches inside arenas anymore or anywhere. Like they won't be able to do current matches, just like UFC. Like UFC wants to put matches on, they can't put matches on because the government has not allowed them to. So WWE will probably still continue on with their programming. They'll just like rerun WrestleManias and stuff, but they will be shut down from having matches in the month of April at some point.
All right.
I love wrestling more than pretty much anybody in the world.
Mackey,
like, it's not an essential business.
Do you know how many shows they've put in the can?
They had a couple, but
I don't know if they have any more in the can right now because they're back to live.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
AEW, which is the competing federation or group, whatever you want to call it, on Wednesday nights, I believe they have several weeks in the can. I think they've done like a month or two.
There's no
in
fans
advance.
in Florida, correct?
Correct.
It's just done in studios now?
Yep. It's studios or like these training centers.
Okay.
So, but still, like, they're grappling and they're sweating and there's a referee and there's, it's.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, listener Seamus, your final prediction here. And write that down.
All right. I don't know why this one just struck me right when Jonathan called. I wasn't going to do this, but whenever the PGA Tour resumes play, that first tournament, Brooks Koepka will win it.
So the first,
Very
going to be a
random.
major, just the first tournament.
It's supposed to be in June, right?
First tournament, if it is a major or if it's just a tournament, Brooks Koepka will win it. It's the most random thought that appeared in my head, but I see it as clear as in front of me.
Wow.
All right, Seamus. Well, do you have anyone in your life that you'd like to thank, or any final words for the audience here? This undoubtedly the biggest moment of your life, right here on Mackey and Judd with Ramie.
Well, as I'm 25 years old, and so this probably is the biggest moment of my life so far. Thank you guys for staying on air, entertaining people. And Vikings, if you're listening, do not draft a wide receiver in the late 20s of the first round of the draft, because you can get the same production in the fourth round.
Yeah, and especially after you already have Odell Beckham Jr. on your team. Like, this.
True.
Definitely no reason.
Exactly. No sense in doing that. All right.
Thanks, Seamus.
Write this down.
All right, back over to Jonathan. Your final prediction.
This is from a conversation we had yesterday. At least 2 professional teams in the Big 5 sports leagues in this country will fold because of the coronavirus pandemic.
Wow.
That's a home run.
You said leagues or teams?
Teams.
Okay.
Teams in major leagues,
Yeah.
though.
Okay.
In the Big 5.
That's a
So
home
like the Rays or something, right?
Yeah.
That's a home run.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Woo.
Manny Hill, your final prediction.
The next NFL season, this upcoming NFL season, whenever it begins, will be the final season for Bill O'Brien as head coach and general manager of the Houston Texans.
Probably a little too late.
Like our predictions last week. Will be the final
Write this
season.
down. Write it down. You like writing
National
things
Football
down.
All right, back over to Judd Zulgad.
Jake Odorizzi will leave the Twins as a free agent after this coming season.
After the next season.
After
okay. He'll be a free agent either way.
Exactly right, because his contract is running right now. So after the 2020 season, he is going to leave the Twins.
These predictions are so hard about like the upcoming season or the next season. You'll be careful.
The baseball
with how we word
contracts
these.
are going right now. So yeah, he's not going to come back next in 21, assuming we have baseball.
Rami Makloff, your final prediction of the week here.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that then.
The Vikings will pass on Tua, and Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots will draft him. Write that down.
Okay. So to parse this apart, he has to fall to the Vikings, and then the Patriots have to acquire him in some form. Okay. All right.
Write this down. Write it down.
Dude,
You like writing things down.
Honestly, if Tua falls to the Patriots in this draft, it'd
Don't
be
worry about
so absurd.
Aaron Rodgers not 2.0, not happening.
Okay.
Not going to happen.
Okay.
Right.
Screw it. Write this down. The Vikings will trade up
Write this down.
for Tua. Write it down.
Actually,
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down.
at what pick do you do that? So let's say he gets past 6. You're probably not going to go up to 7.
If he falls to 9, I'm trading up.
Yeah.
Like if he slips out toward the bottom of the top 10,
yeah,
I'm pretty much just looking at what the Kansas City Chiefs did when they saw Pat Mahomes was available. And they said, all right, we're moving up. We're moving up halfway up the draft. So there it is. Those of you write that down.
Write this down.
Predictions.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
And your accountability session. And to recap, Rami Makloff batting .464 with 1 home run. John Harrison, .360 with 2 home runs. Judd Zulgad, .310 with a home run. Myself, Phil Mackey, at .242 with a home run. Manny Hill at .143 with a home run. And listeners at .105 with 1 home run on the season.